Bon, pour le coup, je sais pas combien de temps cette rediff va durer, mais on va dire qu'elle va durer très longtemps. Pour le bouquet final, on va finir le jeu. Et j'aurai fini le jeu en 30 heures en final. Ouais, j'ai des potes hein, qui arrivent.
Labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification, easy peasy.
I've got to admit, I'm not too keen on walking into a prison. They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
Would you like Sam to tidy up this area? Waiting for confirmation command. Confirmation command.
Tellement facile quand tu t'infiltres. Tu sprintes comme un connard. Et quand la barre est vide, t'arrêtes de sprinter. Ah.
Are you new here? I didn't... Muting volume now.
Ah. Bah c'est bon, c'est là qu'il fallait aller. On va prendre un petit coup de sirop, parce que là, j'ai mal à la gorge à force de tousser. J'ai claqué le sirop à la force. Bon bah ouais, en fait, niveau bestiaire, c'est pas ouf. T'as fait la première planète, t'as vu déjà la montée des monstres. Voir toutes. Pas de boss, enfin pas vraiment de boss non plus. Et la quête principale, en fait, tu peux la finir en 3 heures. S'il me pose pas de questions.
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
Oh, ils viennent tous en renfort. En fait, tous ceux qui sont pour nous viennent nous aider, sérieux?
Hold it. Something about... That's no... What?
J'ai droit encore à une intégration. Mais tiens. J'avais pas dit que je te putais à vue, toi?
I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is
keep talking, and you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in.
And... Oh, I had heard you were dragging around a repurposed janitorial mechanical. My staff joke.
Interactive database up.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
Oh ouais, t'es un pur connard, ok.
My word! You correctly identified the most recognizable man. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man. Yes, he is an extraordinarily obstinate fellow, isn't he? Fine, he isn't working for us per se. Semantics, he'll come around. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle. Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society? If I and my people can ride it out in luxury and happiness, yes, I would. I don't know if you've noticed, Captain, but Halcyon's pretty much a lost cause. You are a captain of action. I'll give you that. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to kill the rest of you.
Je vais te tuer, pourquoi je l'ai réussi à le convaincre? Bon. Attends. J'arrive d'où là? Bon. Je vais finir ce dernier niveau sans tuer personne. Vous allez y croire à ça?
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and...
Putain, mais tout le monde vient m'aider. Il manquerait plus que celui-là devienne m'aider aussi. Déjà des déguisements. Ah bon?
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solvent stain out remover.
Je te jure, si je finis le jeu sans tuer personne. Oh, ça serait tellement...
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was prepared. I lost good soldiers in the attempt. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. I'm afraid I can't do that. I'm aware of your diplomatic talents, Captain. You have a gift for manipulation, but I warn you, I'm no easy mark. For all your talents, you are the enemy of Halcyon, and therefore you are my enemy. You make a nuanced and compelling argument. Here's my rebuttal. No.
Contre-argument. Non.
Dr. Wells is being held in my custody. His cooperation will prove invaluable, even if I have to beat it out of him. All that's left to do is put down this riot, arrest you, and... Fair enough. I'm giving you exactly one
Intimidation.
chance to parlay with me. Yes, I'm quite aware of your brazen act of corporate vandalism. By the way, those test subjects you killed, they died in
Cool.
agony. My scientists assure me they can recover the data you've destroyed. You've succeeded in temporarily delaying our research. Nothing more. That isn't true. It can't be.
Un peu.
You're trying to manipulate me. That experiment was absolutely essential to the program. My scientists assured me they were close to a breakthrough. They gave me their word. Don't you mock me. I won't stand here listening to you gloat. We're going to have to start all over again. All that research, all those experiments, you've set us back
Enfin, c'est vrai qu'il
decades.
contrôle tout. Le président, c'est juste
You were always an unknown
une image.
variable. I tried to recruit you, but you threw your lot in with that madman, Phineas Wells.
Ah.
This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a drain. And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died.
Bon, bah, ça a l'air d'être le boss final.
To be specialists. Sanitization incoming.
Merde. Fais chier. Je reprends où? Ah putain, quand tous les robots sont arrivés. Si je me refais baiser, je reprends ma save du vaisseau. Et je rechange des compétences. Ah, j'ai tellement le seum. Merde!
You new here?
A busy worker is a happy worker.
En vrai, attends. Je vais reprendre mon arme électrique. Hein. Si c'est un robot le méchant de fin.
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
No. Hold it. That's. Bring it down.
Oh putain, je crois que c'était pour ma gueule. Ah, je me suis dit, ah, c'est bon, j'ai fait une connerie. Attends, je t'ai où là? Ah, si, là-bas.
Hold on. I don't. Excuse. You are? I mean.
Mais hop, j'ai le succès.
Well,
Attends, si j'ai un mensonge à 90, pourquoi c'est pas passé tout à l'heure? C'est quoi? Avant que j'arrive à la dernière zone, je me prends toutes les drogues au monde.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight. You new here?
Putain, comme ils m'ont confondu avec les autres, ils m'ont tiré dessus.
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's solvent stain out remover. It's ruthless on residual.
Je viens de faire une connerie là. Je viens de faire une connerie.
Blood splatter.
Captain, you
Industrials. Centrifuge mode activated. One order of frickin' fan coming up. Covering you! Failing is this unit's middle range. Object is soon to be specialist.
Je sais pas ce que je prends tout. Ah mais c'est hallucinant ma vie, comment elle part. Fais chier. Fais chier, fais chier, fais chier, fais chier, fais chier. Il faut 100% mensonge. Ah, j'ai eu la flemme de couper le micro là. Déjà. C'était quoi? C'était mensonge ou merde? Et sciences ou ingénierie? Oh je sais plus. Persuasion, ça y avait aussi. Mais c'était persuasion, putain. Tant pis. On va faire comme ça. Enfin, en vrai, ça sert à rien, en fait. On va se tenter comme ça, hein. Oh putain, est-ce que j'avais réparé toutes mes armures aussi? Bon, ça va le faire. J'ai tout fait. J'ai tout fait pour embobiner les mecs. Et là, c'est peut-être le coup que j'aurais dû prendre quand même Félix, hein. Mais bon, j'ai intimidation avec le robot quand même. En fait, fait, quand t'arrives, soit tu choisis le mensonge, persuasion, intimidation. Je crois qu'il faut choisir tout l'un des trois. Ah, ça me fait chier que ça bloque niveau 30.
Did right by us once. Now it's
What was
ours.
that?
The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
They lock me up, I'm liable to kill everyone trying to get back out.
Area sanitization assessment. The labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification. Easy peasy. Would you like Sam to tidy up this area? Waiting for confirmation command. Confirmation command.
Bon, si je me rappelle du chemin. Si je lance en dessous, je meurs. Bonne question ça.
Hold it right there.
Incoming!
Là, le boss final est violent et comme on peut plus monter de niveau. Si on pouvait monter de niveau, j'aurais pris le temps de tout tuer. Mais bon. Quand je vois les quêtes. En plus, surtout quand je vois les trucs principaux, que tout est à monarque, je me fais putain. J'ai commencé à sentir la couille sur la durée du jeu. Enfin, il y a une bonne durée de vie de jeu, hein, 30 heures. Merde, putain. C'est d'un coup, ça se finit d'un coup quand même le jeu. C'est les stores principales, tu peux arriver là direct.
Area filth level assessment.
Bon, ouais, dans 2 minutes, on va revenir où on était. Vas-y, pose-moi la question.
Returning to normal protocols.
J'espère que j'ai monté les bons caractéristiques. J'espère que j'ai monté les bonnes caractéristiques. J'espère, putain. Heureusement qu'on peut changer les
Let's go,
caractéristiques.
troops. Stellar base counting on us.
Ah, ici, Blight. Parce que putain de merde, je peux pas battre le boss en Supernova. Ce n'est pas possible. Que le boss aurait été.
Hold it!
Que le boss aurait. Ça l'aurait fait, mais là. En plus, je l'enchaîne le boss, je l'enchaîne.
Watch it, we're almost exposed.
Well, look.
Interact.
Oh là, oh là, c'est qui me tire dessus? Du coup, comme je suis déguisé, je me prends des balles comme un connard. Ou ça se trouve, c'est un groupe qui m'aime pas qui atterrit ici pour buter des gens et
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches.
Comment ça, échec?
The captain needs our help. So get in there and fight.
Comment ça, échec du déguisement? J'ai fait un truc qu'il fallait pas. J'aurais pas dû sortir un mensonge. J'aurais dû intimider. J'aurais dû intimider. Je le savais. Putain, dire que j'aurais pu finir le dernier niveau en 15 minutes. Et le fait que je retravaille, bah je me fais baiser. Putain, ça m'énerve. Ils auraient dû faire la save après ouverture de la porte quand même. Quoi que ça se trouve, des fois, derrière l'ouverture de la porte, t'as un truc de merde qui t'attend, donc ouais. Putain, au final, il y a que dalle comme map. Il y a 3 maps sur Terra, une map sur Monarch, enfin, une map sur Stellar. Et celle-là, c'est tout. Ah oui, le précurseur. En fait, open world. Bon. Ouais, en plus, comme j'ai descendu ma discrétion, mon truc il descend à une vitesse. Du coup.
Processing performing and that's
Mais vas-y, tu m'as vu.
Let's
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
Hold it.
Hey, you! Hold on.
Well,
Attends. Comment ça fait que j'entends Faudra que je reprogramme mon bordel parce que j'entends mes boutons et normalement je l'ai programmé pour faire en sorte qu'on les entend pas. Ouais, bon, je retesterai un autre jour. Ah, du coup, j'ai plus les gardes, ok. C'est pour ça tout à l'heure je me faisais fumer. Oh putain, du coup, faut. Oh, j'aurais dû monter ma science à tous les coups.
I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and...
Are you?
Et quand par hasard j'ai pas de renfort à la fin.
Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solvent stain out remover. It's ruthless
Putain, c'est vrai qu'on entend bien quand même le bruit.
Take a breath now, buddy.
Hop, 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 hop. Vas-y, bouffe, féculent, truc, tout sauf la drogue. Enfin, drogue, l'alcool, je veux dire.
I suspect we ain't gonna have time to stop shooting.
Attends, je crois qu'il a sommeil, mon perso. J'ai pas encore du thé quelque part là. Bon, ça va le faire.
Captain. My
Yes, ça a passé.
Rockwell said that. Chairman Rockwell? That's absurd. You're lying. This is another one of... Sophie? That insufferable, arrogant twit. After all, I have given the chairman... I deserve my share of the blame. I haven't given up on the program. I haven't lost... This prison is...
Putain, mon intimidation qui était pas à fond. Mais comment ça, il était pas à fond? Mais oui, je l'ai pas monté. Je savais que j'aurais dû baisser l'intimidation à fond. Putain, je le savais. Fais chier, putain.
Object is tuned to be specialist.
Et sa barre de vie ne part pas, putain.
Industrial stay.
Et ils ont mon putain d'arme électrique. J'avais pas une arme électrique, sérieux? Ah si, c'est ça.
Not getting through.
Substance is resistant to cleaning elements.
Now switching to garbage disposal.
Faut intimidation 100%. Vous savez quoi, on va tenter le tout pour le tout, on va tester un truc. On va oublier leadership et tout. De toute façon, mes coéquipiers sauf mon PC. Putain. Ça me pète les couilles. si ouf que si tu montes tout ta dialogue, tu te fais baisse quand même. On va tester ça, hein.
Transmission. Goodbye.
Il fout une gueule, j'ai presque plus rien pour voir.
I'll lock up behind you.
Tant pis pour le mensonge. De toute façon, le mensonge, ça va jamais jusqu'à 100% de mémoire, j'espère. L'intimidation, faut que je la fasse. Ça, donc j'ai Sam obligatoire. Et on va voir si c'est avec Félix. Et si ça passe pas, je booste mes dégâts. Eh mec, là, si je peux pas faire mieux.
The captain did right by us once.
Creeping beast.
The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Mardat.
Citation assessment. The labyrinth on Tartarus. Task classification.
C'est chaud, c'est comme des bâtards de mettre un boss de ouf.
They say nobody's ever broken out of the labyrinth. Didn't say nothing about breaking in, though.
Si le dialogue passe pas, je reboosterai avec je sais pas quoi.
Lead the way, boss. I got your back.
Je reboosterai mes attaques.
Are you new?
Non, là par contre, tu m'emmerdes là. En plus, c'est pas comme si je pouvais farm pour devenir plus fort à part mes armes, mes armures. Parce que de toute façon, je suis niveau max. Donc après, c'est juste une question de rétribution de points. Et des défauts que j'aurais pas dû accepter. J'ai une putain d'envie de pisser maintenant. Là. Mais bon, on va retenter une dernière fois. Putain, 1 heure et c'est trop une strat quoi. Oh, je te jure, si ça passe pas les dialogues. Faut que ça passe avec les dialogues, faut que ça passe. Ça me foutrait le seum si ça passe pas, putain. Oh, je parlais, ouais, y a pas de boss et tout, putain, le boss de fin, c'est un enculé de sac à PV quoi.
Area filth level assessment. Disgusting!
Something. You.
Putain, j'ai oublié, je dois aller là.
Let's go, troops. Stellar base counting on us.
Ah non, mais pousse-toi. Mais comment ça, échec de déguisement?
Congratulations, customer.
Putain, j'allais me dire, merde.
Unit is performing at peak capacity.
Hey, you!
I'll admit. Are you out? I've had.
J'ai cru que ça allait pas aller. Un peu plus, j'ai cru que ça allait pas aller, j'avais pété un plomb, je fais non, mais non. Et en fait, donc le petit personnage à côté, c'est un truc qui me garantit presque la discussion, c'est ça? Ça dépend des personnages que j'ai avec moi. C'est ça que je viens de comprendre.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight.
Onyx performing.
Feeling jittery, are you? Because I'm not.
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special solving stain out remover.
Non, ça va le faire.
It's ruthless.
Cap, you. Dr. Well. interesting that you think I'm going to die here. Fair point. I've devoted my entire life. There isn't much of a board left, thanks to you.
Ok.
I'm aware of Dr. I appreciate your When you put it that way, no. Not in the least. Damn it.
Oh putain, oui.
Very well. You win. Congratulations. I just hope you've made the right decision.
Oh, génial. Oh, génial. Pas de robot à tuer.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. It takes something to get under Akande's skin. She's gone, and I don't think she's coming back. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough. I'm all right, thanks to you. Akande wanted my cooperation. I'm quite sure she would have beaten it out of me if you hadn't arrived.
Pour finir le jeu, j'aurais dû
You've
coopérer avec le
broken
conseil
the
quand même.
board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
Hold on, Doc. Are you telling me the Earth went dark 3 years ago, and the board's just been covering this up?
They've been incredibly effective at concealing the truth. Right now, the only people in the colony who know are standing in this room. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the hope's brightest minds. And then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us? You won't hear a word of disagreement from me. You're the best thing to ever happen to Halcyon. If you want to take it upon yourself to lead this colony, you have my support. We're not a colony any longer, are we? Our last connection to Earth has been severed, and so we have been set free. Our future is uncertain, and no one knows what tomorrow holds. Exciting, isn't it?
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned visitor. From the moment she landed in Emerald Vale, her actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Between MSI's worker-centric policies and the iconoclast's manpower, Sanjar and Zora were able to rally many of the Terra 2 townships to their cause. MSI's workforce swelled, and the iconoclasts enjoyed a significant surge in their ranks. The board was too distracted by infighting and internal politics to stop MSI from becoming a powerful corporation and a refuge for townships that might have fallen through the cracks. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay
Ah, c'est con ça.
silenced her forever. Time
Prochaine game, je
would
tue
tell
la
of
meuf.
a replacement to keep
Parce que je kiffais bien ce Blight,
family
putain.
together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another
C'est une
few
pute, ça
years
fait,
of
là.
survival.
Ah, je retiendrai, tu vois,
Adelaide
pour la
would
prochaine
never
game.
know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the Groundbreaker held firm against
Oh,
corporate
si, je
influence.
répare pas la machine, elle
The
explose.
city's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the Groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the Lifetime Employment Program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to
Ah bah
learn
oui,
to
du
make
coup, ils ont dû
do
bosser.
with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail, or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest lasting, toughest acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. It was widely suspected that Sophia Akande was the true power behind Chairman Rockwell. However, after the riots on Tartarus, she was never again seen in the colony. Various theories circulated as to her fate. Some believed she boarded an interstellar ship capable of journeying to a distant colony. Others believe she died trying to escape Tartarus. Some few suggest she fled to Monarch, where she continued to live among a small band of loyalists. There is another theory, which suggests that Sophia's encounter with you changed her, and she deliberately retreated from public view, but continued supporting the colony in secret. When Dr. Wells began reviving the Hope's colonists, he found himself with a sudden windfall of additional supplies and resources, courtesy of an anonymous donor. If Wells knew who his supplier was, he never told a soul. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. He eventually came to terms with his own past, and was able to forgive the mistakes of his younger self by devoting his remaining years to serving the colony. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. In the end, Dr. Wells was able to save every scientist and engineer aboard the Hope. Over the next decade, nearly all of the Hope's remaining colonists were successfully revived. Halcyon saw a period of rapid technological and scientific advancement. Breakthroughs in dietary supplements saved the colony from starvation. Geoengineering projects and social reforms began to change the structure and character of the colony. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived.
Côté, je crois qu'il avait c'était un
Today,
centenaire, je
Halcyon has
crois.
stabilized. The people of the colony work hard to adapt to their new circumstances. Nearby colonies send aid and supplies. Life will never be easy in Halcyon, but for the first time in its history, there exists a sense of real, genuine hope about the future. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? You brought an end to the chaos on Tartarus, and proved yourself the most capable leader left in the colony. You administered the colony in your own image. With the old power of the board destroyed, a new government of Halcyon rose with you at its center. With your steady hand, you guided Halcyon through the turbulent years that were to follow, and helped ensure the survival of the colony until the end of your days. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future
C'est une
has in
suite, on
store
revient
for
sur Terre,
Halcyon.
mec. Ce serait
All
tellement
we know
stylé.
for certain is this: the name of the unreliable and that of its
Ah,
intrepid captain
c'est la suite de ce jeu-là.
will remain the
On
subject
envoie
of
les
countless
renforts
stories
sur
for
Terre.
years to come.
Ou sinon, t'as suivi le conseil et les derniers congelés, enfin bon, bah, on va renvoyer les sports à Terre. J'ai pas fait gaffe, le succès. C'est quand t'es en déficit, putain, oui, c'est cool. Et j'ai eu un succès rare, que 0,14% des joueurs qui l'ont. Bon bah du coup, il me reste... Tu es 50 ennemis avec les capacités. Utiliser 300 fois l'inhalateur. Tirer des entrejambes, oh, ça va se faire tout seul. Ça va se faire tout seul. Ça, j'aurais pu le faire tout à l'heure. Putain, il me manque le joli chapeau. Tu n'avais pas attaque surprise avec une arme scientifique. Tu es un ennemi sous l'effet des 4 armes scientifiques, ça va être chiant. Ça va être chiant de faire le reste. Bon. Ouais, pour le coup, là, on en revient dans ces quantités ici, ok. Bon. Je vais me coucher, parce qu'il est 4h24. Du coup, j'ai dosé quand même presque 7h30 de jeu. Putain. Je l'ai fini en Supernova. On va passer à autre chose. Je vais faire le restant de succès de mon côté. Le jeu était cool. Au final, j'aurais mis... Ouais. 30 heures de jeu. Bon. Allez. Salut.